Alrighty, hello and welcome back to another Roblox Studio, The Basics. If you have been following along, you'll know that we found a vehicle from the toolbox. We then learned how to configure it in a very basic way. And then, in this case it was a truck, we added a trailer. We learned how to make the trailer legs, some fancy stuff, how to connect the trailer with a constraint. And then we also learned how to make a UI and then clone that UI so the player can then interact with the vehicle from the UI. So in today's video, we're going to be getting back into a chassis because this is about a chassis. So yeah, it's fun to play around. Today we're going to go over lights. So let's go over lights, shall we? Let's press play. Lights, what are we talking about? All right, well, let's take the time. Let's set this timer to 5. Oh, it's dark. My goodness. We might need some lights. So if we press L, which is the default for lights, look at that. Now, the trailer has lights, probably because there's a script in the... I betcha. There is... Oh, they're just on. Okay. I was going to say, maybe there was a script inside the light. No. See, they got a point light, and the point light is always on. So we're going to change that so that way the lights turn on. Not sure. There's a couple of ways we can do this. We can have it so that way all the lights turn on when you press L and the truck and the trailer lights up. Or we can have it so there's lights on the trailer and there's lights on the truck that are separate, I guess. But for that, we'd have to add to the UI that we created, make some more buttons that control the lights. So for today, we're going to focus simply on the truck. So if you click on the truck or any vehicle and you go into 8 chassis, okay, and they have this plugins folder. When you click on the plugins folder, they have a light add-on. Now that is where we find, it has this handler. This is the script for the lights, the first one. Right? User input service. This tells you if you press Z or D-pad left, that's your that left blinker. And then if you press C, that's your right blinker. And if you press X, that's your hazards. Oh, and then L activates the regular light. So we're not actually going to change this unless you wanted to. What you could do here is you could say else if event fire server, right? You could take one of these commands and you could put in your own enum key code. We could say T, and then when you press T, that's the trailer. So this is where you would add a specific command. We're probably going to do that. Maybe we'll do that. Okay, and then when you open up the smears, in here it's got this disabled script called the handler. Now this handler, we'll get rid of that. That is the handler. And basically what it does is it says, okay, if data enable brakes, then car.body.brakes.on.value equals true. And what does that mean? That means that if you brake, right, see down here, it says enable brakes true. That's if the throttle changes, then the brake lights are going to turn on. So long as the car, right? So long as it has this value. And what does that mean? So if we go into the body of the car, let's see, body.brakes.on.value. So we go body, and then we go into brakes, right? And then we have this value. What is that? It's a bool value. And that's just true or false. Is it on or is it off? All right, so then we go into the truck and we say, oh, brakes, where is that? G1, and we'll look at that. Inside this folder, you have the individual brakes. And light can be any kind of light just as long as it's named light, which is what it's looking for. Not this one. Yeah, somewhere in here. Anyhow, you need to change the name of the light to light. Otherwise, We'll find it. I'm sure we'll find it while we're going through here. Okay. So now, looking specifically at breaks, let's take a look at the code. So now what they do is they use the value script.parent.on. So they're referencing the value on. And in this case, they're using the tween service. The tween service to turn the lights on and to turn lights off. Now, that's cool. Gives you that smooth transition that I was talking about. But we're actually gonna rewrite this a little bit. We're gonna change it around, and I just find that this to be it's just faster, and I happen to like it. So we're gonna get rid of all of this actually. Yeah, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna rewrite this. So first thing we need is we have the lights are in G1, so we can say G1, or what we'll say local G1 equals script.parent dot G1. There, see, it took a moment, but it found it. Okay, and now we use lowercase g and 1 in our. Okay, then we say while true do. So we're going to wrap this into a while loop. Whenever we do while loops, this is what I learned. We always want to do a wait right at the beginning. It could be 1 just for a second, but you always want to add that wait in there. Otherwise, it's going to give you an error, or it's just going to things will happen. Okay. Now we will say if script.parent.on.value equals true is equal to, we need to, is equal to true, then, all right, and then this is where we're going to write the new code. Then we say for I, which is instance, okay, equals 1. Let's see, G1 do, and then this is just the value, right? Instance value 1, okay? And what are we going to do? What are we going to do now? We are going to go G1, and then we want this little right here, right? Which is the instance, and then we'll say dot material, and then we'll say equals neon. Easy peasy. So now, oh, this is in the breaks. All right, we're gonna have to change this, but that's all right. And that's it. And then we will change oh, I see here. All right, and then that's it. And then what we want to do is we want to say, okay, well, that's fine. Then we say else, right? Because what happens when, no, not elapsed time, E-L-S-E. Now what happens when we're not breaking, right? Else, same thing for I, okay, equals 1. And then number sign, G1, which is group 1, and we say do, okay, which is what we want it to do. What do we want it to do? We want to say G1 in the instance. We want to say dot material equals, and then we'll say smooth plastic. Just like that. So when you press the brakes, it'll go neon, and then when you release the brakes, it will go smooth plastic. Now in here also we can say I think it's G1 I Oh, and then we can change the transparency. We can change all that stuff, right? We could say dot transparency equals 0, and then it's giving me an error on the L. So let's Control V, and then we'll say transparency equals 1. So when it's smooth plastic, I guess we don't necessarily need the smooth plastic if we're going to make it invisible. So maybe we'll silence that for now. Oops, what's this here? No, delete breakpoint. We don't want it to breakpoint there. So we'll just do that. And then maybe in the when we're using this for something else. All right. Now we see here we have the light. So how do we get the light to turn on? Well, that turns on through here. That should come on automatically in the handler. So when we look at the handler, what are we looking at? Brakes? Let's see, where does it say here? Car.body.brakes, right? So we have car.body.brakes.on.value, okay? And I think I need to add in here. That's right, car.body, right here. If car.body.light.on.value equals true. So we turn the light on. Car.body.brakes.on.value equals true. All right, so we might actually in here, material equals neon. Okay, and then this here, I think there needs to be an else if. Oh, nope. What we want to do is end this here. All right, just like that. Perfect, and then we'll put in a wait. Not a while. Wait, and we'll say 0.4. All right, so let's just test that out. Let's just see what happens here. Oh, see, it says brakes may attempt to get length of an instance value. Line 13. Oh, I think I need another. Yes, I need to end this here. Oops. Hold on, what's going on here? What's going on here? Let's see. I think it's this number 1 here that's giving us trouble. For I equals 1, G1 do, yeah. G1 material, that's right. That should be that. But it doesn't like that for some reason. Line 13. Oh, G1, get children. That's where it is. Because it's like, all right, it can see the folder, but we're trying, what's in the folder, right? There we go. See, sometimes, you know, unable to assign property, material, invalid value, smooth plastic. All right, so I just spelled that wrong, I think. Here, we'll just we'll just turn it to plastic. Ah, there we go. I'll learn how to spell here one of these days. Okay, so now if we drive, oh, this is embarrassing. It's supposed to go neon. So let's figure out what's going on here. So where is this part? If we move that. Oh, all right, and let's just move this. Right. Right, so I'm not changing. See how their transparency is set to 1? All right, and then what we need to, that's why we had this transparency here. There we go, see? You hold down the brakes, and it comes on. Ah, pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Okay, so now in this case, as you can see, this is obviously the mesh of the lights, and then what we have here is we just have a part which goes over top of that mesh. Right? It's not welded because this is part of a chassis, and the initialization, however it does, it finds these parts and it welds them all together. It's a fancy way of doing that. I really don't want to be breaking that down. All right. And we got our blinkers. Hazards is not a valid, which means we don't have. So there we go. Okay, and then what I like to do, that's that. It's that simple. And what I'll do is I'll go to, say, the left, and I'll go to right, and I'll look at that code. See how that's different? This is the way we just wrote it. And then if we go, so we have our brake lights, and where are we, left and right. Oh, because this is, right? This is the front, and then this is at the back. And it just so happens to be there. It's red. We can change that to yellow. Just see what happens. There we go, see? Ooh, that's fancy. I actually like that. That's almost better than what I've got now. I got separate lights for all that, but anyways. Okay, so now we've done that to the left. Let's change the right color. Let's just change that to yellow just for consistency here. Okay, and then it should be yellow at the front. Yeah, the front fire yellow. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to make this trailer do what the truck does. When we press left, we want the left, we wanted this guy to be our left turn signal, let's say, right? And when we turn right, we want this one to be our right turn signal. So we can take both of those, let's group them together, And as we learned, we might, just for safety, I'm gonna weld these here. So let's go to model, and we're gonna go create a weld. We're just gonna weld it to the body, and then that way, should something happen to it, it's not gonna fall off. Okay, so it gave us a couple of errors there. One of the errors was from the hazards. So if we go back into the handler, we can see that when you press X, it toggles the hazards. And then in the code here, for the hazards, car.body.hazards.value. So if we go truck, which is the car, and then we go into the body, there isn't anything in here that says hazards. So we have to insert. So we go right click, insert object, and this is going to be a bool value. Bool value is true and false. And we need to rename that to hazards, lowercase, Hazards. All right. Now when we press play, and we press X, hey, now it automatically, there's our hazards. Now, of course, they're just playing on the truck. They're not playing on the trailer. And what we essentially have to do, everything that we do to the truck, we have two options. We either do it to the trailer, or we reference the trailer in the code. So let's try just referencing the trailer in the code. So this is going to be renamed. We're going to rename that left. And we have those two. Okay. And then we are going to say left. And in main, let's say GRP2 is going to be, right? Script. Dot parent. Let's see. Dot parent. Dot parent. No, not pairs. Parent. Dot trailer. So you just keep going, writing down parent until it finds the trailer, and then we go dot left, and then we can say get children, which is the same thing that we did here. And now what we need to do is we need to duplicate this. So we need to copy that, paste it, but we need to change it from group 1 to group 2, right? And you can have group 3, group 4, group 5, however many lights, wherever you want them, whatever you want them to do. This is one of the ways to do that. And then same with this right here. Okay, why is it? All right. Being difficult for me here. Okay, same thing. We go group 2. All right, and then down here, same thing. Because we are referencing both folders, which have the lights in them. Group 1 is on the truck. Group 2 is on the trailer. In theory, this will work. The way I set it up is see, light is not a valid member of part. Oops, here we go. What's going on here? Light. So remember what I was saying? It says point light, and it says point light. We need to rename that to light because the code is trying to find, it's interpreting that. All right. So we know now that it has found the lights. So we'll do that. All right, and then if I hit Z, there, look at that. Now we have lights on the trailer, and we have our lights working on the truck. Fantastic. And we can take one of these lights, and we can make it the blinker light or the brake light, and we can do the same just like we did on the truck. And you can do that for pretty much anything. You see here we have headlights. So when you press L, all these different parts will turn on. They're all these. Oh, is that going to turn on too? Yeah, brake lights turn on, right? The whole truck lights up. So then what you can do is you can add lights onto the trailer, just like we did here. Put them in a folder onto the trailer, reference them. Okay. Easy peasy. Well, I guess that'll do it for today's video. In the next one, maybe we'll finish setting up the lights on the truck, and then we are going to get into setting up the drive controls, the tablet controls, or if you want other, right now only PC users and console users can hop in this vehicle and drive it because there's no buttons. So in the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to configure this. We're going to change this around. And we're going to add buttons for the controls. Gas pedal, brake, maybe the lights, something like that. So in the next video, we're going to modify the A chassis UI. So I hope to see you there and have yourselves a wonderful day.